Thank you, Ali. Before the graduands are presented individually to the Chancellor, Mr. Shawn Jansepar, a member of the graduating class, will address Convocation. During his time at Simon Fraser University, Shawn has been very involved with the School of Computing Science, serving as the Vice President of the Computing Science student body. He has helped to organize the school's Frosh Week and has participated in many other events as a speaker to high school and first-year students about computing science at SFU. He has also taken advantage of many programs at SFU, such as starting the first Canucks Club, becoming an orientation leader, going on international exchange to the Czech Republic, and completing co-op terms at Electronic Arts. He will be graduating today with a Bachelor's of Science in the Faculty of Applied Sciences. I'm pleased to call upon Mr. Shawn Jansepar to speak to the graduating class. They love you.
Wow. All right. Nous sommes prêts. Or in English, we are ready. This is the motto of Simon Fraser University, and over time, it'll be the words we live by. SFU students are always ready, but for different things depending on the occasion. At times, we may have been ready to learn, to work, to travel, or to volunteer. We may have been ready to pass out from cramming the night before, or some of us may have even been ready to go to class hungover and then slightly resented ourselves the next day. Nonetheless, we are ready. Good morning, faculty members, distinguished guests, graduates, family, and friends. Today, we are ready to graduate, but also to reminisce, to be a tad bit nostalgic, and to appreciate our prestigious SFU upbringing. When I found out that I had been selected to speak at this ceremony, I started researching what to talk about for the speech, and the most common advice was to make it personal. This, unfortunately, completely derailed my initial plans of simply reciting Steve Jobs' commencement speech line for line. And then, when I found out that not only would I be speaking to my own faculty, but to other faculties as well, I thought to myself, how am I going to make this personal when I have to be relatable to all these different faculties without resorting to some lame cliches? I mean, I couldn't just talk about the late-night coding sessions in the computer lab, living off nothing but pizza and Red Bull for days on end, nor could I remind everyone about the amazing times we had during Frosh Week, and how the only reason the engineers ever won the Slurpee drink-off competition was because they cheated. And then it hit me. Our experience at SFU is that common link that brings us all together. There are thousands upon thousands of students graduating all over the world, but there are certain experiences that we've all shared that make us uniquely SFU. For instance, you may have rewarded yourself with a delicious campus donair after a good day of studying, or walked across the pond thinking about how horrible it would be if you fell in. Or maybe you even showed up to a lecture in soggy shoes because you thought the ice was thick enough. You might have also been snowed on campus, potentially more than once, and you were able to experience how beautiful the mountain is covered in snow. Perhaps you love or hate the unique concrete architecture, or maybe you were in no rush to graduate, and you're here today after 6 years of schooling, just like I am. I didn't really realize how unique this was to SFU, the whole 6-year thing, until a recruiter at Electronic Arts, I told a recruiter at Electronic Arts that I'd be graduating in 2 years, which would bring the total to 6, and she laughed. And she replied, "Oh yeah, I forgot you go to SFU." And while at first, this might sound like something we shouldn't be proud of, I would argue that the flexibility to finish a degree in 6 years is what truly sets us apart from tons of university grads around the world. With the opportunity to take as much time to finish our degree as we liked, SFU allowed us to gain other valuable experiences alongside of our education. Whether you like it or not, the world is evolving, and students need to be not only educated and hardworking, but also be experienced. And by providing the flexibility to take on part-time jobs and co-ops at our own pace, SFU has better prepared us for that future. Over the course of my 6 years at SFU, I learned more than just how to think like a computing scientist. I learned that you don't really need a parking pass up here at all, You just need to find the perfect spot that makes it too hard to look on your windshield. I learned that just because a professor has a PhD in computer engineering doesn't mean they know how to operate a projector. I learned that the easiest way to convince people to come to your events is by offering them free food. In fact, I became a master of finding free food on campus, a skill that helped me save tons of money on my international exchange. But I also learned that sometimes you can take money saving too far. I'll just say this: if you ever have a choice between sleeping in a park bench and sleeping in a hostel, always choose the hostel. Park benches aren't nearly as comfortable as you might think. Most importantly, I learned that procrastination is my worst enemy, and despite knowing this, I will never be able to fully overcome it. Case in point, I wrote half this speech last night. Just kidding. Now, this may shock some of you, but learning how to find free food was in fact not the most valuable part of my degree. The most valuable part was earning it. I know some of you in the crowd look at this degree as just a piece of paper that proves your worth in a particular field of study and holds no further value. Frankly, I don't think that's true. This piece of paper only has enough room for two names, yours and your university's. But while earning it, I'm sure you made many extraordinary friends whose names don't fit on the piece of paper that you'll take home today. Students or friends who saved you seats in class, who worked with you feverishly on late-night projects, who supported you when you didn't get the grade you wanted, and who celebrated with you when you did. After you graduate, you will undoubtedly see these friends less than you do now. And to quote Mary Schmitz, understand that friends come and go, but with the precious few, you should hold on. Work hard to bridge the gaps in geography and lifestyle, because the older you get, the more you will need the people you knew when you were young. This piece of paper also holds the weight of countless hours of hard work and sacrifice, a work ethic that was very likely taught to you by the very process of acquiring it. You'll hang this up on a big fancy frame in your wall, and each time you glance at it, you'll look back at the time you realized that hard work can bring success, at the moment you knew you were truly ready for the real world and for any obstacles that would come your way. The person who walked into this university 4, 5, 6 years ago wasn't nearly as prepared to face the world as you are today. Today, I can confidently say that we are ready. Thank you very much, and congratulations to the graduating class of 2012.
Thank you, Shawn. The members of the graduating class will now be presented to the Chancellor to be admitted en masse to their degrees. Will the graduands please rise?